Hi everybody, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Juan. I am just one reader and I am here with some recent reads. These are two books that I finished over the weekend, and so I want to talk to you guys about them. The first one is Daphne du Maurier's short story collection, The Birds and Other Stories. I have already posted a separate book review for this, and if you're interested, that video is 25 minutes long. That is correct. I rambled on for 25 minutes talking about this book. I went into each story individually, and I made a literary and psychoanalytical analysis about the stories in general, and also about the collection as a whole. In here, all I'm gonna say is that I absolutely adored this collection. It's one of my favorite short story collections that I've ever read. It's one of my favorite books of 2018 so far. Daphne du Maurier is like a queen. She's like a new figure in my life. Like, I just want to build an altar for her. I am feeling especially melodramatic and exaggerated and overreacting right now because I just watched the Tony Awards, and so I'm kind of impregnated with Broadway fever, drama, theatricality right now, and I just want to get on stage and belt out, let it go, let it go. I'm just feeling very theatrical, so I might be slightly overselling this and overhyping this, but I don't think so because this was just phenomenal. All the stories in here are amazing, a great sense of place, of atmosphere. Everything feels gothic and suspenseful, and if you enjoy Henry James, Shirley Jackson, it just has that kind of same vibe to it. It also has a very strong, very defined and refined style, and visually the stories also have a very clear style, and they almost feel Hitchcockian in a way, which sounds silly because The Birds was adapted into a Hitchcock film, but regardless of that, there's something Hitchcockian about all of these stories. So yeah, if you enjoy Hitchcock, Shirley Jackson, Edgar Allan Poe, Arthur Conan Doyle, Henry James, you need to get on board with Daphne du Maurier. I gave these 5 out of 5 stars. I am still trying to process the amazingness that that book was. The next book that I finished was not as successful. It was good. It was kind of a mixed bag. It was okay. So the book was Miranda Hart's memoir, Peggy and Me. This is Miranda Hart's new, or well, I don't know how new it is, but it is her most recent memoir. It is a very funny, almost, yeah, you could categorize it as a comedy memoir, and it is all about her and her dog, Peggy. Do you get that from the cover? It's pretty obvious. It's pretty, the title is pretty self-explanatory. So we follow Miranda Hart as she goes through the journey and the process of deciding, should she get a pet or not? Should she get a dog or a cat? Or, when she actually gets the dog, finally, we start following her journey with the dog, with Peggy, and, there's a lot of shenanigans and crazy, quirky, whimsical things that happen. And of course, the book is also filled with her very funny and humorous insights and musings and observations about certain people and certain ways that people behave. And it revolves around the topic of pets, but she kind of sometimes goes into different topics. So I don't really know why I wanted to read this in the first place. I don't know what made me read this. I think it was just the fact that I love Miranda Hart. I love her writing. I love her performance. I love her sitcom series, Miranda. I think she's just a hysterically funny persona. And I love everything that I've read or seen by her or with her. A couple years ago, I read her memoir, Is It Just Me? And it is one of the funniest things I've ever read. So maybe I went into this expecting something similar, and it was not that. It was kind of wanting to be the same thing, but it wasn't. This was not as funny. There were some moments in here that were definitely funny, and I was laughing like a crazy, like a madman, like a Mexican madman. I am a Mexican madman. That's why I'm allowed to say that. So there were parts in here that I really loved, particularly the first half of the book was really funny. Then from the halfway point until the end, it was kind of lackluster. It was kind of a rehash of certain things, and I just lost interest, honestly. There was also something about the writing that started to get a little bit jarring and irritating. I was kind of irritated by the writing by the end of the book. She does this thing, she's constantly going into different tangents, and she has a very elaborate, not elaborate, a very complicated, convoluted way of expressing herself. So she has this very long sentences, and she sometimes it gives a dramatic, funny effect, but more often than not, it just becomes kind of overridden. It feels overridden, and it feels like, couldn't you just say it simply? There was also a kind of gimmick that she did, giving voice to the dog herself. The dog, Peggy the dog, has written parts like dialogue in the book, and I just thought that was I didn't like that. I almost skipped those parts altogether because they were just boring and jarring and obnoxious. Honestly, I couldn't stand Peggy the dog as written in the novel. I mean, in the text. So overall, I gave this book 2.5 stars. It's not bad, and if you enjoy Miranda, you will like some bits of this. You will enjoy yourself. I don't know if you will enjoy all of it, but you will enjoy yourself reading this book to a certain extent. So I give this 2.5 stars. It was fine in some places, but if you really want to read something really funny, go ahead and read Tina Fey's Bossy Pants. That is a funny book.